I have the Chief Executive Officer of Viva CTPR, Oluwakemi Ariola. She joins me now from Abuja studios for more discussion. Well, she's also the ICT and Corporate Relations personal assistant to the Minister of Youth and Sports Development. It's good to see you join us on the show. Congratulations on your new appointment.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you so much.
All right, let's start this way. Talking SMEs again. A lot of challenges been identified here, and they're talking now about as you grow, there are lots of other challenges you face. How well would you say Nigerian entrepreneurs, how well are they set to face these challenges they face in building a very, very notable brand?
I think over the last few years, I would actually commend Nigerian SMEs or the owners of Nigerian on their drive first and foremost. I think it's their drive and their passion that's first assisting them to get where they are. And obviously, I would say the federal government has put a lot of schemes in place to also assist them. But yes, I feel with the collaborative effort from both the private sector and the government, I feel the opportunities are limitless at the moment, and I can see us harnessing these opportunities. I can see us climbing up the ladder. I can see us utilizing every opportunity that's available from both the rural and the urban areas. There's a great difference in SME growth at the moment.
All right, now many talk about issues of capital, but some are now saying that there is more to that, that there is need to keep up with the market. There's a need to also plan ahead. A lot of things need to be done even aside capital. I don't know if you also think along that line.
Oh yes, 100%. You know, as you know, I've worked in this SME sector for a while, and I've had a lot of interface with stakeholders. And that word capital seems to be the recurrent word. But as you said, that's not the key focus at the moment, because before you get, even in our personal life, before you get money to do anything you want to do, you have to first of all have a plan. You have to first of all have aims and objectives, as well as some form of implementation strategy, as well as your future goals. Where are you trying to get to? Like you said, you need to plan ahead. You need to have your short-term, mid-term, and long-term plan. Because if you don't have all of that in place, as well as a financial forecast, and a realistic financial forecast, because I think that's also you know, a great stumbling block for most organizations, the fact that there is a financial forecast, but it's not realistic. So yes, when you do receive funding from various organizations, or you know, wherever, either private sector or government, don't know what to do with it, or you'll invest it in the wrong way, and you know, you any.
All right, we'll take a break. We apologize for the audio challenges there. We'll take a break and try to re-establish contact with Oluwakemi. They're live from Abuja. Stay with us. It's Your Business Nigeria. We'll be right back. Well, thank you for staying with us. We'll link up to Abuja, where Oluwakemi Ariola is still standing by, CEO Viva CTPR, talking SMEs and challenges they face well in this part of the world. Thank you very much, Oluwakemi. Now, Kemi, let's continue from where we stopped. Now, let's look at the Ease of Doing Business initiative, which Nigeria now went 15 places up. And many have come out to say that, I think, or many say Nigerian government seems to be doing something right. Let's look at the government angle, the angle of the government now. How well are they making this environment so conducive for SMEs to thrive? Kemi, if you can hear me, I'm talking about the role of government. All right, there, I think we having challenges to link up with Oluwakemi Ariola. Well, let's move on. We'll try to re-establish that contact. Following the high number of delayed and cancelled flights during the Harmattan season, the federal government plans to install Category 3 instrument landing system in 7 airports across the country. In the first phase of the project, which is expected to cost about 7.58 billion naira. The facilities will be installed in Lagos, Abuja, Kano, Port Harcourt, Katsina, Maiduguri, and Sokoto airports. The Cat 2 ILS is currently in the use in the 7 airports and are expected to be taken to other airports without the instrument to improve landing. The Nigerian Airspace Management Agency has already installed the new ILS in Lagos and has commenced its trial run at runway 18 right of the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, with the calibration aircraft expected to fly in and certify the equipment. All right, I'm being told that Oluwakemi is standing by now to continue our discussion. Now, Kemi, I was talking about the role of government. We see figures coming in that we've moved 15 places up in the Ease of Doing Business initiative globally. Now, tell me, is the government doing enough?
You can never say that enough is being done, but of course the government is doing a lot of things. There's a lot of things happening in different sectors, especially, you know, where I am. I know that there's a lot of work that we're putting in as well. But obviously out there, you'll see, I know a lot of people would disagree with me and say the government is not doing enough. They feel a lot more can be done. But of course, in every area, there's always room for improvement. And I love this government because I know that we're a listening government, and we tend to always want feedback from the general public to say, what areas are you facing challenges? You know, as we said before, besides the finance side of things, you know, what areas are you facing challenges, and what areas can the government assist your personal organization in developing? Yes, government is always open to suggestions.
Okay, before I let you go, let's look back again to funding, which many SMEs or some see it as just free money. Maybe when government comes in and say there's an initiative, let's get you some money to do business, people take these monies and at the end of the day, nothing to show for it. Now, what would be your advice to young ones looking up to become entrepreneurs? How do you think they can get it right, particularly in a country like Nigeria, where there are no jobs and we need to take advantage of small, medium enterprises?
I didn't 100% get what you said. If you could just come again.
I'm talking about what would be your advice to young ones that want to become entrepreneurs, and so that they don't take advantage of funding. Central Bank is open to funding these days. BOI, funds are coming out one way or the other. How well would you advise Nigerian youths to be prepared to take advantage of all of these initiatives?
Okay, if I got you well there, I think I do think what you said is what are my words to ensure that the upcoming SMEs don't take advantage of funding opportunities that are available out there?
Perfect.
Is that what you said?
Yes, yes.
Oh, brilliant, awesome. So, you know, of course, you know, there are lots of checks and balances that are put in place by the organizations that do give the funding out to ensure that funding is not duplicated, funding is not misrepresented, funding is not used in the wrong areas. You know, we as a government, I guess at back end, you know, all those checks and balances are being done. But for me personally, I know the last time you had me on the show and at times when we've spoken, I'm always about your own personal objectives, really. It's up to you. Do you want to grow as an SME? Do you want to be useful to your community? Do you want to be useful to yourself and your future generations? It's not, the onus is on you as an individual to ensure that when you do go for this funding, you use it for the right things. And even just in the office this morning, you know, we were discussing whistleblowing. You know, it's not a word a lot of people like to hear. But if you are personally for the better of Nigeria, or you're for the development of Nigeria, or you're for the development of your community, and you do see practices where people are misrepresenting their funding application, so to speak, then, you know, the onus is also on you to whistleblow. But first, before we start calling in the vigilante police, so to speak, I feel as an individual, you want to climb up the ladder, you want to make a difference in your life, you want to do it in a positive manner, then you need to ensure that what you go for the funding for is what you use it for, and you need to ensure that you use it correctly and you use it wisely. And so that probably next time, if you come for 50,000 this time around, you know, we're hoping you come for 50 million. You know, the next time, they always say something, you know, that goes along the lines of those that are doing it nowadays, they don't have 10 heads. We were all, you know, born as human beings, but it's our drive and our passion and our ideologies that shape where we go tomorrow. So if you want your tomorrow to be better, the onus is on you.
All right, I like it. Let's leave it on that note now. The drive and that passion is what will actually take you to where you are supposed to be. I love that. Kemi Ariola, thank you very much, Chief Executive Officer, Viva City PR, and also SA to the Minister of Sports and Youth Development. Thank you very much for your time on Business Nigeria today.